Hi, I'm Tina with the City of Tigard, and I'm here with Rini from RapidMade. She's going to be our spotlight for the month of February. Rini, thank you for having us in here at RapidMade today. You recently took part in one of our advanced Tigard programs. Can you tell me a little bit about how this training program was able to help you and your business?
Absolutely. So RapidMade is a traditional and additive manufacturing company, which is 3D printing. And so obviously a lot of our employees come in with just a basic level of skills. Many of our younger people have never been in manufacturing before. And so the training that we do to get people up to speed is pretty involved. So we have a very structured program that's a pay for skills. So as people learn the skills, they're able to advance in the company. And I learned that Tigard had the grant available, and we had an individual who was just learning how to do 3D printing. And when you 3D print, you have to create the actual builds. You take a digital file and you take that file and it tells the printer what to do. And so we had an opportunity to use that money to train the individual in our HP Jet Fusion printers. And so I was very excited when I heard that that was something that was available to us.
Nice. Can you tell me a little bit about RapidMade and what you guys do here?
Sure. RapidMade is, as I said, a traditional and additive manufacturing business that has been around since 2011. We've grown considerably in those 11 years. But essentially what we do is we do highly customized low volume production and prototyping for other manufacturers. So the bulk of our business is working with other businesses to help them create some pretty innovative products that they have. And so we work with small entrepreneurs all the way up to Fortune 10 companies that people would be very familiar with. And we're very excited to be in the Northwest.
That's exciting. Can you tell me, with a lot of people asking about 3D services, what's the biggest misconception about 3D printing?
Sure. So 3D printing is a means to an end. We always try to find out what the customer's reasoning is for what it is they're trying to accomplish. And in our experience, often what they really need is what we would call a hybrid service. So we will use the 3D printing as an example to create a tool that we then use to traditionally manufacture perhaps a thermoformed part. We've started to get a lot into CNC machining, which is another area that we're focusing on in terms of the training of our employees. So 3D printing, especially in the last few years, is just now getting to the point where it's fast enough and affordable enough to actually make what we would consider production quality parts. So we do actually have some customers who have files that we then convert into actual printed parts. And when you get a tour of the facility, you'll see examples of those. But in many cases, what we're doing is we're using it to actually create the tooling that we then go on to produce in a traditionally manufactured way.
Wow. And lastly, what's your favorite thing about being a Tigard business?
I love this area of town. It's very accessible. We have a lot of our customers are in the same area as us. I loved the fact that, you have these innovative programs that we can take part in. And so we've been very excited. We started out in Portland, and as we grew, it just made sense for us to move into the Washington County area. So we were really, as we live in Washington County ourselves, we were pretty excited to be here.
Sounds like a match made perfect.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have the City of Tigard visit RapidMade today.
Well, we're happy to have you.
So this is an HP multi-jet fusion machine, an MJF. This machine allows us to do hundreds, if not thousands, of parts at a time. It's a really cool way of printing. Essentially, there's this build unit that's full of powder, and the machine goes back and forth layer by layer building parts. And you can see here a picture of, these are all the parts that it's printing at once. And if you'd like to check it out, you can see it going back and forth with its layers. So one thing that we do that's really unique in manufacturing is we use all of our technologies together in order to produce a part. So these are just parts of a trim fixture that will get used eventually to trim a part. We also print our form tools, so we do thermoforming. So we can print those tools, we can machine them, we can cast them, and then we heat the plastic, it forms over it, and then you have your part, and then these are the trim fixtures. As you can see, we develop a honeycomb structure to allow for airflow, so there's proper suction, so the part stays connected to the trim fixture when it's trimming, so it's accurate. Right now, basically, this machine is developing the parts upside down, and it's doing it layer by layer. And so as each layer comes up, it gets cured with UV light. It's UV, right? Yeah, with UV light, and then it develops a part. And these parts are really great for quick turn prototyping. We have lots of different materials that we can use with them. You can do clear, black, honestly a bunch of other different colors. It kind of depends on what the customer needs. This is cutting a fixture out of copper.